Okay, we'll get started then. So I will call the meeting to order. We're at a public hearing, and I'm looking for any declarations of conflict of interest from anyone. There's only one agenda item. Approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions to this evening's public hearing? Okay. Moved by Councillor MacLeod, second by Deputy Mayor. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Okay, we have one order of business. That is to recommend to council. So I'll say this first. The way this works is it's a public hearing, so we can invite anybody from the public to speak to that. If you're in the audience and you wish to speak, you can come up to the microphone, tell us your name and where you live. And we actually have some folks online, and I have to thank you for this, to our CAO and to the staff, that everybody that's put this together, because it's 2020 and this is just the coolest stuff of all that we can do this. So the order of business is to recommend to council to consider, and if deemed advisable, amend the land use bylaw to rezone 38 Vancouver Street from low-density residential R1 zone to medium-density residential R2 zone for the purposes of enabling a 3-unit dwelling as outlined in the planner's report. So I'll ask 3 times if anybody wants to speak to this, and council doesn't speak at this time. We will bring this forward to the council meeting and discuss it this evening. So would anybody like to speak to this issue? Would anyone like to speak to this issue? Anybody online or in the audience? And a 3rd time, would anyone like to? Yep. Absolutely, come on up. Oh, it's Elizabeth, yes. You certainly, I didn't recognize you, welcome.
Is it working?
It is.
My only question is, I'm really confused about what all these R numbers mean.
Okay, fair enough. So, sorry, Jared, do you want to take that?
Sure.
We have our planner back here. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me fine, Your Worship?
We can, yes.
Perfect, okay. So the R1, essentially, it's a single and 2-unit dwelling zone. So it lets you build up to a 2-unit building, essentially, on a single structure. It's really like a duplex. What they're proposing to go to is called an R2, or a medium density residential zone, which lets you do up to a 4-unit. So it had to have, let's say, like a 4-plex or like a small townhouse, something like that. So you could have 4 attached units on a single lot. That's really the major difference between the two.
Does R1 is, yeah, just one or two? So
2.
One or two. Okay, 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah. So they're looking to move it to 3 or 4, where they could put 3 or 4. It's preferable. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so this dwelling right now is R1?
Yes.
R1 means 01 dwelling, single dwelling?
Up to 2.
Up to 2.
Up to 2. Okay, that was my question, right? Yeah. Because I'm confused. I thought that we had some zones which were single dwelling only, but I guess we don't if 1 includes 2.
Yeah. So duplexes, for example, Mrs. Jenke, duplexes in any area, any R1 zone, right? Just about anywhere in town.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Is that helpful? Thank you. Okay. Would anyone else like to speak? Thank you for that, Jared. Would anybody else like to speak to this? Would anyone else like to speak to this one? And I'll ask one final time. Would anyone like to speak to this issue? Okay. Hearing no one, I'm looking for a motion to bring this to the council meeting this evening. Councillor Lesser, Councillor Cleveland, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Motion to adjourn the public hearing. Good? Okay. Thank you for coming.